Hi folks, how you doing? It's James JT at the Movies, back with you for another video on the channel. Again, today's video is going to be a ranking video. So this weekend, in and amongst gigging and working the day job, I also managed to watch 3 of the Die Hard movies. Not the 2 set at Christmas, I only watched those 2 at Christmas, but the later 3 movies. And it got me thinking about how I would rank the franchise overall, and I thought I'd do a video on that. So let's jump right in. In at number 5, we have the last entry in the series before the inevitable reboot, I'm sure, at some point, and that is A Good Day to Die Hard. Bruce Willis again returns as John McClane to go over, this time to Russia, to try and help his son, who he thinks has been arrested and is in some sort of trouble over there. Turns out that his son, Jack, John Jr., is actually a CIA agent, and he's on an undercover mission, and the two end up sort of begrudgingly teaming up to defeat the film's bad guy. It's definitely the weakest film in the franchise. It really doesn't hold up on repeated viewings. I watched it this weekend just because I'd seen the other 2 and thought, oh well, I'll finish it through. But for me, this one really doesn't hold up on repeated viewings. In fact, I really didn't care for this one when it came out at the time. I thought it was a bit of a missed opportunity. So that's my number 5 pick, A Good Day to Die Hard. In at number 4, it's probably no shock to anybody, Die Hard 4.0, or Live Free or Die Hard as it's known internationally. This was the comeback film for the franchise, and I have to admit it's a bit of an underdog and I quite like it. Bruce Willis is still on absolutely top form as John McClane here, and my biggest complaint with this film is that it's dialed back, and it's even though this release is a 15, I think that's because they include the Yippee mother, we know the line, in the thing, rather than censoring it like the version that's on Disney Plus, which is actually the version I watched yesterday. But it's all a little bit dialed back compared to the first 3 in terms of the violence and the gratuitous swearing, and just the whole thing's just dialed back a little bit. And it runs kind of a little bit like a greatest hits show, if you like, does this thing. It has all the sort of the musical cues that have sort of taken on from the original ones, like the little nods to like Ode to Joy and things like that, and the sort of, have you done this before? Yeah, but not for a long time, and all the sort of the nods and winks you'd expect of a legacy sequel, which this is. It's just, like I say, it's just a little bit dialed back, and that's what stops it from being absolutely top tier for me, and that's why it comes in at number 4. So in at number 3, we have Die Hard 2. This isn't one that always gelled with me. In fact, really, it's probably only in the last, 7 or 8 years of watching this at Christmas, when I watched this one and the first one as a double bill, that I've really started to gel with it. When I was watching this as a kid, which I was definitely too young to be watching this, but my dad used to let me get away with watching all sorts of stuff that was age inappropriate, and quite often would watch them with me. Solid effort, Dad. But yeah, I didn't always gel with this one, and I found it a bit sort of, tedious, and just didn't gel with it for whatever reason. But I've really come round on it, and I really enjoy it and look forward to that double bill every Christmas with this one and the first one. I like that it still retains sort of what worked about the first one, the sort of the bottle location, but it sort of expands it a little bit, and sort of, a bit like I said about Die Hard 4, it does some of the the greatest hits bits, or what would become the greatest hits, sort of retracing a few of the steps and whatever else. And obviously it's got the returning cast. Everybody comes back from the first one that made it to the end credits, at least in the first one as well, which can't be said for the later sequels. So yeah, I really enjoy this. In at number 3, Die Hard 2. Number 2 now. I promise I'm not doing it with these lists to be controversial. In at number 2 for me is the original Die Hard, the movie that started it all, and I suppose almost spawned the subgenre itself of the sort of the lone man action movie sort of trope, at least in modern cinema. Under Siege and the Has Fallen movies are ones that come to mind straight away, but there's so many of them that are inspired by this movie. It's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? Yes, it is a Christmas movie as well, and you'll have probably noticed as well that I'm representing by wearing my fantastic Christmas jumper in April to make this video, but it was worth it. I adore this film. Alan Rickman is superb, Bruce Willis is superb, and Reginald VelJohnson as well, Bonnie Bedelia. Everybody just plays off each other fantastically. The musical cues and the score from Michael Kamen are superb. The man's my favourite movie composer, and it's a real shame he's no longer with us. I just love every score he put his hands to. It was superb, as well. Obviously, superbly directed by John McTiernan as well, who was a bit of an 80s and 90s sort of action guru, really, isn't he, in terms of some of the classics that he's put out, this and Predator, and one more film that we might be talking about in this list as well. But yeah, in at number 2 is the original, the classic Die Hard. So in at number 1, we have Die Hard with a Vengeance. This film was the first film I ever saw in this franchise. I absolutely adore it. And this film, along with, other films that my dad will have shown me at the time, is really sort of one of the films that helped me shape my sort of taste in action movies and thriller movies and, those sorts of films like this. Bruce Willis, again, is on top form as John McClane. He's really eased into playing the character at this point, and it's sort of, you can tell for him just like, putting on a comfy pair of slippers doing this for him. The addition of Samuel L. Jackson as Zeus is absolutely superb as well. The pair of them had worked together on things like Pulp Fiction and would go on to work together on M. Night Shyamalan's Unbreakable as well. And whenever they are together, they're just a great team. And this just absolutely cements that as well. The villain is superbly played by Jeremy Irons, Simon Gruber this time, Hans Gruber's brother. And, we're led to believe that it's a revenge story for the events of Die Hard 1, but actually that's just a cover for the heist that the bad guys are on. And Jeremy Irons is just delightfully camp as the villain, and it's just great. It's a real return to form after the original. Like I say, Die Hard 2, I do love it, and I've really come round on it, but it is a step down from that original one. This one for me just brings it right back up, and not even dials it into 10, but dials it into 11 or 12. This one just takes everything that was great about the first two, and for me just absolutely cements it. And that's why for me Die Hard with a Vengeance comes in at number 1. So there we are, folks. That's been another quick video, short and sweet this time. After watching the Die Hard movies this weekend, I thought, yeah, I'm going to do a ranking video for the channel. I hope you've enjoyed it, and you'll have to let me know down below in the comments what your own ranking is and any thoughts that you've got about the Die Hard films. I always love to chat to you guys in the comments, and it was really nice to chat to the folks that commented on the last ranking video I did about Jurassic Park as well, and the recent pickups. I really do enjoy it, so please do leave me a comment. Drop the video a thumbs up as well if you've enjoyed it. Lets me and lets YouTube know to keep making these sorts of videos. And if you're coming across me with this video for the first time, hi, nice to meet you. Please think about subscribing to the channel. It of course helps my channel to grow and lets me get to know you as well over future videos. Above all else, folks, take care of yourselves, and I will see you again soon for my next video. Bye for now.